Elvis Presley looked happy on stage and in movies, but his real life was full of pain and secrets. Many people think he had a perfect life, but that is not true. Behind the camera, he faced hate, jealousy, and betrayal. Some co-stars acted like friends in front of the camera, but behind the scenes, they hurt him deeply. They made him feel small, unimportant, and alone. Elvis trusted them, but they broke his heart. This is not just about small fights. It is about the pain that stayed with him forever. These are the 6 co-stars he truly hated most. Before we dive into video, please subscribe our channel. Elvis Presley became famous very young. He was just a poor boy from Mississippi, but soon he was the biggest star in the world. Everyone loved his music, his looks, and his voice. But with fame came pressure. His life was no longer his own. His manager, Colonel Tom Parker, controlled every part of his career. Elvis wanted to act in serious movies, but Parker forced him to do silly films that made money, but gave him no respect as an actor. Behind the bright lights, Elvis was sad and tired. He felt trapped. He was always surrounded by people, but still felt lonely. Many of his co-stars did not respect him. They saw him as just a singer, not a real actor. Some of them were jealous. Some tried to steal the spotlight. Others were rude or cold toward him. Elvis was a kind man, but when someone hurt him, he remembered it forever. His personal life was also full of pain. His marriage with Priscilla looked perfect from the outside, but inside it was full of problems. There were many fights, cheating, and deep sadness. Elvis started taking pills to handle the stress and the heartbreak. He once said that people think he had everything, but in truth, he felt empty. Elvis gave everything to his fans and to Hollywood, but he did not always get the same love in return. Some co-stars made fun of him, ignored him, or used him. He stayed silent most of the time, but those wounds never healed. He wanted real friendship and honesty, but often got lies and betrayal. Now let us look at the 6 co-stars who hurt him the most and why he could never forgive them. Number 1. Ursula Andress. Elvis Presley was excited to work with Ursula Andress in Fun in Acapulco. She was a big star at the time, known for her beauty and charm. But what Elvis faced on set was completely different from what he expected. Ursula was cold, distant, and full of pride. She acted like she was more important than everyone else, even more important than Elvis, the king himself. Elvis believed in respect and kindness on set, but Ursula did not care about that. She often came late to filming, refused to rehearse properly, and did not even make eye contact with Elvis between scenes. She treated him like a joke, like just another singer trying to act. This hurt him deeply. He had worked so hard to be seen as a serious actor, but she crushed his confidence. Behind the scenes, she made fun of his southern accent. She told others that he was too stiff and not real. Word of this reached Elvis, and it broke something inside him. He stayed quiet, but the hate grew inside him. He felt disrespected, unwanted, and deeply embarrassed. Elvis hated arrogance more than anything, and to him, Ursula was the symbol of that. Her actions made him feel small on a set where he was supposed to shine. He never forgot how she made him feel like an outsider in his own movie. For Elvis, Ursula was not just a co-star. She was a painful memory, a reminder that even in his world of fame, he could still be made to feel invisible. Number 2. Dolores Hart. Dolores Hart was not just another co-star. She was someone Elvis truly admired. They worked together in Loving You and King Creole. At that time, their chemistry was restored, both on and off the screen. Elvis felt something special with her. She was kind, soft-spoken, and different from the Hollywood crowd. For a short time, he thought he had found someone who understood him. But then, something happened that shocked everyone, especially Elvis. Dolores left Hollywood. She gave up her career, fame, and the spotlight to become a nun. She left everything behind and walked into a convent. For most people, this was a spiritual journey, but for Elvis, it felt personal. He felt abandoned. He could not understand why someone would choose silence over the world they had shared. It made him question everything. Did she ever care about him? Was all of it fake? Elvis already lived with loneliness. When Dolores walked away, it felt like even the purest soul in his world had rejected him. He never spoke badly about her in public, but close friends said her decision left a deep scar on his heart. He did not hate her for becoming a nun. He hated the way it made him feel, like he was not enough, that he could not hold on to something real. In the middle of all the fame, another piece of his heart was taken, quietly, forever. For Elvis, Dolores was the wound that looked calm but hurt the deepest. Number 3. Mary Tyler Moore. In 1969, Elvis Presley starred with Mary Tyler Moore in the film Change of Habit. This movie was different. Elvis was not playing a silly role. He was playing a doctor who helped people. He wanted to show the world he could act seriously. He hoped that Mary, a respected actress, would support that dream. But from the first day on set, Mary Tyler Moore kept her distance. She was polite, but cold. She spoke only when needed and never tried to connect. Elvis, who was used to warmth and kindness, felt hurt by her silence. He wanted to build a friendship, maybe even something deeper, but she treated him like a stranger. Elvis tried to break the ice with jokes, small talk, and charm, but Mary stayed professional and far away. Some said she did not like working with musicians. Others said she thought Elvis was not serious enough to be in a drama. Whatever the reason, her attitude cut deep. Elvis was already fighting personal battles, with pills, pressure, and a broken heart. On that set, he hoped for peace, but found more pain. Mary's coldness made him feel unwanted and unimportant. He once said to a friend, "It is hard when someone looks at you and only sees the mask, not the man." Elvis never openly fought with Mary, but deep down, he hated how she made him feel invisible. She was not cruel, she was just distant. And sometimes, that kind of silence hurts the most. Number 4. Margaret. Margaret was not just a co-star. She was the love of Elvis Presley's life. When they worked together in Viva Las Vegas, something magical happened both on-screen and off. Their chemistry was electric. They laughed, danced, and shared a deep bond. For a moment, Elvis believed he had found his true match. But love in Hollywood is never simple. As Margaret's star began to rise, Elvis' team especially, Colonel Parker, felt threatened. They believed her growing fame would outshine Elvis. Pressure built, rumors spread. The media started calling her the female Elvis. That made Parker furious, and he pushed Elvis to end the relationship. At the same time, Elvis felt something change in Margaret too. She started getting more offers, more headlines. She seemed more focused on her career than on him. Elvis felt replaced. He believed she had used their love to climb higher. Whether true or not, it tore him apart inside. He never stopped loving her, but that love turned to quiet hatred, the kind that comes from heartbreak. He saw her everywhere, but she was no longer his. That loss haunted him. Margaret later said she always loved Elvis, but by then, it was too late. The damage was done. For Elvis, Margaret was not just a co-star who hurt him. She was the woman who broke his heart. Her success, her distance, and her silence became the sharpest pain of all. It was love that burned into hate. Number 5. Shelley Fibar. When Elvis Presley first met Shelley Fibar, he thought she was sweet and cheerful. They worked together on several films like Girl Happy, Spin Out, and Clambake. At first, everything seemed fine. They laughed, acted, and took photos together. But slowly, things started to change, and so did Elvis's feelings. Shelley became more and more difficult on set. She argued with directors, questioned the script, and sometimes even showed attitude toward Elvis. He was used to being respected, especially by his female co-stars, but Shelley made him feel like just another actor, not the king. She often complained about her roles, the dialogue, and even the costumes. Her negative energy affected the mood of the whole set. Elvis, who was already struggling with pressure and inner pain, found her behavior hard to handle. He believed she was ungrateful. While others would have dreamed to work with him, Shelley seemed annoyed to be there. Behind the scenes, Elvis told a friend, "She used to light up the room, now she just darkens it." He did not explode in anger, but something in him turned cold. He started keeping distance. The fun they once had disappeared. Her constant mood swings, complaints, and lack of warmth pushed him away. Elvis hated drama on set, and Shelley brought too much of it. For him, the worst pain was not just when people yelled, it was when people changed. Shelley Fibar became the reminder that smiles can fade, and kindness can turn into coldness, even from someone he once trusted. Number 6. Joan OBrien. In 1963, Elvis Presley starred in It Happened at the World's Fair alongside Joan OBrien. At first, Elvis was excited to work with her. She was beautiful, confident, and experienced. But very quickly, the joy turned into disappointment and then into something deeper, quiet hate. Joan did not see Elvis the way others did. To her, he was as just a singer trying to be an actor. She did not take him seriously. On set, she spoke to him with sarcasm. She often joked that he was only cast because of his looks, not his talent. Others laughed. Elvis did not. What hurt him the most was her tone. It was not playful, it was sharp, cold, and full of judgment. He felt humiliated in front of the crew. He was already insecure about his acting skills, and her comments made those fears grow stronger. She kept her distance off camera, refused friendly talks, and treated scenes like chores. Elvis tried to stay professional, but deep inside, he was angry. He once told someone close, "She sees the glitter, not the man." For someone who gave so much to the screen, being mocked like that was painful. Joan never shouted, never fought, but her words cut like knives. Elvis hated when people judged him without knowing him, and Joan OBrien did just that. She did not break his heart like others, she bruised his pride. And for Elvis, that kind of wound was just as hard to forget. Elvis Presley gave the world his voice, his heart, and his soul. But behind the music and movies was a man quietly breaking. These 6 co-stars did not just clash with him, they left scars. Some mocked him, some ignored him, and some broke his heart. He smiled for the cameras, but behind the scenes, he carried the weight of betrayal and loneliness. Elvis was not just the king of rock and roll, he was a man who wanted love, respect, and truth. But from those closest on set, he often got only silence, coldness, and unforgettable pain.